From the land of lakes, this is 10,000 Takes. Brought to you by Minnesota Score Radio. Wally and Eric back for yet another week. And we are ecstatic you've tuned us in as we continue to wind our way through April. And the Minnesota Twins on the road this week. Started in Gotham City against the New York Mets. Both teams entering that series with losing streaks. The Mets at 11. The Twins at 4, so something was going to give. And then they go to Tampa Bay on the weekend. There'll be guaranteed good weather because it's in a dome.
It is in a dome that now has a roof, by the way.
That's right.
It didn't have a roof. But, you know, the fact that the Twins have had to play so many home games in April, 17 total home games in the month of April. I mean, does Major League Baseball and their schedule makers, do they not know geography at all? Are they not familiar with weather patterns in the northern part of the country? I mean, my goodness, why do the Twins get stuck with 17 home games in the month of April? I mean, Milwaukee can. They have a retractable roof. You've got all these teams in the South, including Tampa. And I know they were trying to make sure that Tampa's dome was fixed before they headed down there. But there's Texas, there's Houston, there's the Southern California team. There's all kinds of teams that could be playing in the month of April at home. And I know it's unfair to load people up with too many games at home, but at least push them towards the end of April.
Yeah, and MLB has to know, shrink that number from 17 to, say, 10 or 11.
Exactly.
Because if you're any kind of a brain wizard running Major League Baseball, the Minnesota Twins, even when they are good and when they're a draw, most of their attendance comes between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
True.
That is their sweet spot for bringing in fans. School is out. The weather is definitely going to be warm. It's better. But now you're going to lose some of these dates. You've got Toronto coming in next weekend. That's great. The Blue Jays usually bring a ton of fans from Canada, at least before the U.S. started insulting our neighbors to the north, the Canadians. But, the Blue Jays flock to Twin Cities because for some fans, if you live in Winnipeg or Saskatchewan or somewhere like that, Thunder Bay, or Moose Jaw, it's closer to Minneapolis to see your Blue Jays than Toronto. Anyways, MLB's got to fix that. 17's way too much for the Twins to have home games in April.
Okay. Twins issues other than attendance. And I would say, and I think I've been saying this for weeks now, the one thing you got to keep your eye on, and we saw it this series this past weekend with the Reds, and you're going to see it again, it's the bullpen. I have confidence in most of their starting pitching. I don't have much confidence in that bullpen, and I'm sure Derek Shelton doesn't right now either. They're going to have to somehow figure out a way to fix that thing. Because that will be the difference whether they can stay in the race, hover around 500 in that AL Central, and potentially maybe even be, in the chase for a wild card spot at the end of the year. If they can't get that fixed, it might be a long summer.
Yeah, your bullpen can't unravel after your starter has given you 6, maybe 7 quality innings. Joe Ryan, Taj Bradley, guys like that. I mean, they're doing their job. And then you want to be able to hand it off to your hold guys and then eventually a save guy. And I think Derek Shelton is still trying to mix and match with this pen and figure out who goes where. Look, I've said this for decades. Hey, Tom Pohlad, you're now the guy in charge. Go out and make a move and bring in somebody to bolster that bullpen because your ball club, I think, can contend in the AL Central. But, why leave it to chance?
Well, he says the same thing, too, before the season. If you heard some of the interviews, actually the interview we did with him, he told you and I, Tom Pohlad did, that he thinks and he wants to compete this year. So we shall see. If you want to compete, I would say go out and get another arm or two for that rickety, shaky bullpen of yours. All right. Now we're going to hear from a Hall of Famer. He's coming up next. He'll talk about that bullpen, the starting pitching, and more Twins baseball.
Circle me, Bert. Stick around. 10K Takes. We are your Twins ticket.
Life moves fast, but when that Freddy's hits, you can't help but slow down. Freddy's. This is the good stuff. Freddy's new Hot Honey menu is love at first trip. It'll leave you burning for more.
Stop by any one of Freddy's 6 Minnesota locations.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Let your adventure begin in Lakeville, Minnesota. We have over 90 places to grab a bite to eat, and we're close to the Mall of America, Valley Fair, and the Minnesota Zoo, plus hotel packages and great rates. Visit Lakeville. We're serious about fun all year round.
We are 10,000 Takes, and we are going to talk some more Minnesota Twins baseball. We're joined now by a Hall of Famer. Number 28, he of that wicked curveball that occasionally landed in the seats, but more times than not landed in the catcher's glove. Bert Blyleven. Bert, give me your early takes on the 2026 version of your old team, the Minnesota Twins.
Well, first of all, I have a baseball that actually came back to me, one of those home runs I gave up that I keep in my office here. But no, they're off to a good start. Of course, Cincinnati just got swept by the Reds, but overall playing 500. And it's in I think, a division with Cleveland leading right now that it's kind of going to, I think, be up for grabs. Detroit's got a good ball club. They got some good young arms in that staff. But, the Twins are scoring some runs. I think the starting staff, give me 5 or 6 innings. I think the only thing is a question mark is who's going to be the closer. Right now, I think Derek Shelton is kind of using everybody by committee, and somebody hopefully will step forward. It'll either be Taylor Rogers or Sands or whoever it's going to be.
All right, Bert, let's drill down a bit on that starting rotation. We know Joe Ryan's an all-star. Taj Bradley, though, I think is the early story. They got him from Tampa Bay in the Griffin Jacks deal last July. What do you like about this youngster?
I had a chance to work with these guys or put my advice in with all these guys in spring training for about 3 weeks. And, yeah, Bradley's got good work habits. He throws strikes. He gets the ball over the plate. He's a guy I think he can give you 5, 6, 7 good innings on a daily basis when he's out there. Of course, everybody looks at Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan's the same type of makeup. I really like Mick Abel. He's got really good stuff. He attacks the strike zone. Of course, Ober also does that. And Woods Richardson's, I think, is going to get a lot better if he trusts his curveball. I like his curveball a lot, but, they have him throw a lot more sliders. But mainly is just the 5-man rotation they have, I think, can give you 5 or 6 good innings to turn it over to the bullpen. It's a different game. It's not starters going 9 anymore. It's give me 5, 6, maybe 7 good innings, and then hopefully you've got the lead and the bullpen can take over.
What do you think the number one weapon for Bailey Ober is? I watched him on Sunday, and I thought he looked very good, honestly, against Cincinnati. They let it get away. The bullpen did at the end. But I like what I'm seeing out of Bailey Ober. What do you like about his style and what he brings to the table?
First of all, his size, at 6'8", whatever he is, it's very intimidating. He's got a very good changeup. Control of his fastball is the key. I think any starter, the control of your fastball, both sides of the plate, down and away. I know they have the new box, then if you can keep that in there, you can make that 17-inch plate become a 23-inch plate if you can hit the outside corners of the plate. Because, the baseball is about 3 inches. And you hit that corner, and all of a sudden you've got 2+ inches. That's a strike over. I like it, but I think I don't know if the umpires like it. But I think Ryan Jeffers has done a great job back there, seeing exactly where that ball is on the screen. If it's off just that much, that's a strike. If it's off this much, it's a strike. Just that little bit. Well, that creates that 17-inch plate becoming a 23-inch plate. That's pitching.
Bert, I know the Minnesota Twins are just one of 30 teams in Major League Baseball, and when they try to put a schedule into the computer, there's a lot of combinations. It's not an easy challenge, but they have 17 home games in April. They play in the elements at Target Field, which is a wonderful ballpark, but Bert, April in the Twin Cities is a grab bag. Is that too many home games for a team in the North in April?
Yeah, it is. You kind of wish that the Twins would start on the road rather than. I believe they went to Baltimore and then went to Kansas City and then home. Back when I'm going to go old day on you, but we didn't start the season until about the 10th of April, something like that. Now they're starting the end of May. So weather is not the best up in Minnesota for baseball outside at Target Field. It's a beautiful stadium, but you know what? Maybe the first week they should be more on the road, maybe 2 weeks, and then come home when the weather is a little more conducive to playing baseball.
All right.
But I'm making a schedule up, so it's up to them.
Hey, somebody's got to help them out because 17 is too many home games.
I'll give you
March
my phone number. Have them call me. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Eric's got the number. We'll send it to him. Give me your thoughts on Byron Buxton right now. He got slow out of the gates, but he has heated up over the last week or two as the weather has heated up. How important is this guy to that lineup and as a catalyst to make sure that they put runs on the board?
Well, you know what? He brings so much to the ballpark day in and day out. Just him hitting in that leadoff spot. He's a guy that can steal some bases. He's a guy that can carry a ball club for a while when he gets hot. And then, of course, hey, everybody gets cold. I don't care if you're a pitcher or you're an everyday player. It's tough to play. I always admired my defense, my guys behind me, wherever I pitch, how they could go out there day in and day out. And I think Byron's at the point of his career. If he goes 0 for 4, he knows, okay, hey, I have maybe 1 or 2 good at bats. I'm going to take that into tomorrow's game and hopefully go 4 for 4. He's a guy that can carry the ball club. He's one of the catalysts of their lineup.
And I remember last year, I think Joe Davis from Fox, who does the Dodger games, says baseball's better with a guy like Byron Buxton. And I completely agree. And then also Mike Trout, who's battled injuries like Byron. He's on the field right now. And baseball needs these guys, don't they, Bert?
No, they really do. Byron last year was the first time that I think he's played as many games as he did in a season. Yep. And you saw the success that he brought, being an all-star and all that type of player. And I think with his presence in the clubhouse, when he's healthy, he just helps the younger guys out. The Lewises, those guys have to stay off the disabled list, they've got some good players right there, some young players, but they have to stay healthy. And if Byron can do that, he's going to be the leader of that ball club. If he isn't already.
Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned the automatic ball and strike system that's in place now, the ABS. Two-part question. One, do you like it, or what are things you like or dislike about it? And secondly, would you have liked it as a pitcher back in your day? How would Bert Blyleven have used and or abused the ABS?
Well, I think if I was pitching today, the first 2 pitches I throw in a ball game, I would question it. Is it a ball or a strike? Even if it's this far outside, I'm going to say, hey, that's a strike. Okay, guess what? We lose a challenge. All right, my next pitch is over here, but it's this far outside. I question it. Okay, we're done. Now the umpire, he's at his own. Now give me that as the game goes on. That's my thinking, but that's,
okay.
You know what? With that baseball right there, that's a strike. That's a ball. Yeah. Oh, come on. Give me a strike. Give me a strike.
Are you waiting for the day that they go all computer? That might happen,
They're talking about that right now. It takes a lot away from the home plate umpire. These guys, they work hard, and I'm here to really defend the umpires. I think they've done a great job. I think over the years before this what'd you call it, the ABC
ABS,
or whatever, ABS. I think umpires historically 95 to 97% they're accurate. Now you're going to have the umpires like Buckner or Hernandez or or the other guy. You're going to have different type of umpires that maybe expand the strike zone a little bit or make it smaller. But that's the game. That's the way you have to go out there and pitch to what that umpire will give you. Now It's more the ABS, that's giving you the pitch or not.
Bert, of course, you're in the Hall of Fame, and you're a multiple World Series winner with Pittsburgh and the Minnesota Twins. Give me the top 3 pitchers you like today in Major League Baseball. I mean, there's some good ones. Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens. We've seen Joe Ryan here in Minnesota. Shohei Ohtani. I mean, which pitchers do you like?
I like them all that go out and pitch 7 or 8 innings. The complete game is a thing of the past. Give me somebody that just is a workhorse that goes out there. I'd never like the pitch count. I don't believe they could put everybody under one hat. I think Joe Ryan is a guy that's now that we used to pitch every 4th day. Now they're pitching every 5 or 6 days. You can't tell me that Joe Ryan can't throw 120 pitches in a game if he's dealing. Last year Ober had a great game for 7 innings, 7 shutout innings. They only had like 85, 86 pitches, and they took him out. And Twins ended up losing that ball game. That's unacceptable, as Tom Kelly would say. TK wouldn't have taken him out. He didn't take out Jack Morris in Game 7 in 91. So you got to stay with your horses. You got to let them go out there and build their arm up to where they can get deep into the ball game and not put so much pressure on the bullpen.
All right. Last question for you. Finish this sentence. For the Minnesota Twins to be successful this year, and I mean be in the race for a wild card and or a division title, this needs to happen. What would that be?
Starting pitching and defense. That's the key. You have to win the 2-1 ball games. You have to win the 3-2 ball games. You have to keep yourself in the game throughout. You're going to have games that are going to get blown away, but you have to go day in and day out and win those close ball games by your starter going deep and allowing maybe only 2 relievers to come in to finish it.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Bert.
We'll see.
You're
We'll
welcome,
see if they. We'll see if they can shore up that bullpen and win some games this year. Appreciate it, Bert.
Let's hope so. I'm pulling for him.
I know you are.
Take care.
He is the Hall of Famer,
you.
number 28, Bert Blyleven, with us here on 10,000 Takes. Eric and I will be back with more right after this time out.
Get in the game at St. Croix Casinos in Turtle Lake, Danbury, and Hertel, Wisconsin, your local destination for sports betting. Check out our sportsbook at St. Croix Casinos. From football and soccer to hockey and UFC, you can join the non-stop action. You'll find plenty of options to bet on with our cutting-edge Play Sports kiosks, whether placing live or prop wagers before tuning into the game. That's the book at Turtle Lake, the Red Zone at Danbury, and our sports betting kiosk at Hertel. Find your fortune at St. Croix Casinos.
In Lakeville, Minnesota, dozens of meeting venues are ready to host your next corporate event, banquet, and holiday party. Lakeville has unique conference facilities, a variety of hotels, an abundance of team-building options, and dining that are sure to impress. For suggestions that suit your needs, please call the Lakeville Convention and Visitors Bureau at 952-469-2020 or go to visitlakeville.org. Lakeville, we mean business.
Life moves pretty fast, but not at Freddy's. When that first bite hits, you can't help but slow down. The secret to quality time is just quality and time. That's Freddy's.
Mom, what's wrong with them?
That's called quality time. Don't stare.
Stop by any one of Freddy's 6 Minnesota locations.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision. It's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Well, it's Eric's favorite time of the year. Yes, your favorite sporting event. The NFL Draft this weekend. I know you're geared up. You're going to hunker down in your man cave. You've got your lists of potential draft choices.
Oh, I have a lot of mock drafts.
Mock drafts all set up. You've been spending.
I've got my own war room.
You have your own war room. You have your own podcast and your own blog, and you're gearing up everybody for the NFL draft. Now, as much fun as we make of it and the geeks that get geeked out on the NFL draft, because who knows who the left tackle is from Alabama or the right tackle is from
somebody does.
LSU, but they do. Well, of course, that's their job. And I'm talking about NFL scouts and all the analytics these guys do. But for Joe fan, I don't get it. But I do get this. A lot of people show up for the draft in the city that's holding it, and this year it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and my tip for the fan who is a fanatic about the draft, enjoy it. If that's your gig, cool. If that's your jam, I'm okay with it. But don't put a lot of stock into what these analysts are saying. It's a lot of huffing and puffing and opinion. If everybody knew what they were doing, they'd have told us Tom Brady was going to be the greatest quarterback in NFL history when he was taken in round 6 out of Michigan by New England back in the day. Or Adam Thielen and John Randall, who weren't even drafted.
Correct.
And both have had outstanding careers. So, yes, but the draft has become, I think, it's a new cash cow. You got to give the NFL credit. The Shield knows how to print money. So, to get a Super Bowl, you got to really wine and dine the league. You got to impress the NFL owners and the commissioner. You got to tell them you got this many hotel rooms. We're going to put this many yachts in our lake, our river, our ocean. We're going to wine you, dine you, pamper you, and then maybe you get the game. Well, the draft is becoming that. I think it's really a reward for the northern cities that either get a Super Bowl once every 30 years or never have a chance, like Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh's probably not getting a Super Bowl, even though I'd love it. Outdoor football,
that'd be great.
February. But here's what we do know. Detroit, 2 years ago, 775,000 fanatics flocked to Motown. That's an NFL draft attendance record. Last year, Green Bay, 605K showed up. That's second most in NFL history. I'm guessing Pittsburgh's probably trying to break Detroit's record. I'll predict right now 800K in the Steel City because that is a football-obsessed town, Pittsburgh, PA. And I think the Minnesota folks who want the draft in Minneapolis in, I believe, 2028,
right.
I think the Twin Cities will get it. And I think you'll see a lot of draft freaks coming to the Twin Cities. In fact, you can leave town for a week and use your crib as an Airbnb. They can stay there.
Well,
Make a little money.
Pay my mortgage for a while.
Yeah. Believe me, they'd pay it.
I know they would. Dear. Okay. I think it would be remiss without at least mentioning the playoffs, NBA and the NHL playoffs going on right now. The Wolves and the Wild both in 7-game series. The Wild taking on the Dallas Stars. And I know we've talked about this before, but why are the 2 and the 3 best teams in the West playing each other in the first round? It's just so silly. How is the National Hockey League going to continue with this and with a straight face? Because the winner of this, you're going to end up playing Colorado probably. So, I mean, here we go. The 3 best teams are going to be playing each other in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. It makes no sense. And I think it hurts the teams that are at the top because they might get 1 less or 2 less home games at their arena. The owners can't be on board with this.
It's a ridiculous system that makes 0 sense. The NHL needs to do what the NBA does. And once you figure out your play-in format and who's in your top 8 after you go through the play-in scenario, 1v8, 2v7, 3v6, 4v5. I'm not even a math major, and I can figure it out. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets, they've earned that matchup in round 1. Oklahoma City has earned the right to play the worst team in the West seeding-wise. The NHL's really missing the boat on this.
Yeah, no question. Cockamamie system, as Clint Eastwood would say. All right. We'll be back with one more segment, so don't go away. Takes of the day waiting on deck. We are Minnesota Scores 10,000 takes.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Get in the game at St. Croix Casinos in Turtle Lake, Danbury, and Hertel, Wisconsin, your local destination for sports betting. Check out our sportsbook at St. Croix Casinos. From football and soccer to hockey and UFC, you can join the non-stop action. You'll find plenty of options to bet on with our cutting-edge Play Sports kiosks, whether placing live or prop wagers before tuning into the game. That's the book at Turtle Lake, the Red Zone at Danbury, and our sports betting kiosk at Hertel. Find your fortune at St. Croix Casinos.
Hey, get your sports fix. By tuning in to 10K Takes, we cover all the Minnesota teams.
Vikings, Twins, Wild, Gophers, you name it. Fox 9 Plus and the Fox Local app.
In Lakeville, Minnesota, dozens of meeting venues are ready to host your next corporate event, banquet, and holiday party. Lakeville has unique conference facilities, a variety of hotels, an abundance of team-building options, and dining that are sure to impress. For suggestions that suit your needs, please call the Lakeville Convention and Visitors Bureau at 952-469-2020 or go to visitlakeville.org. Lakeville, we mean business.
10K Takes on television as we wrap up yet another episode. Big shout out to the viewers in Med City, the Twin Cities, the Twin Ports, and they are eagerly awaiting to find out what your mood is. Takes of the day: angry, sarcastic, demanding, dare I say it, happy? What is it?
I don't know if I'm happy about this, but so our neighbors to the east, the good folks in Wisconsin, have decided that they're going to allow sports gambling anywhere, anytime. Yes, you'll be able to do it on your phone, according to a new bill that was passed, bipartisan, by the way, over there in Wisconsin, and the governor signed it into law. Now, it must take a little while for that thing to come to fruition because it has to get all the tribal nations. I think there's 11 different tribal nations who have to agree how they're going to split the pot and so on. That having been said, they already have sports gambling if you go into one of the casinos. Now, we know that Iowa has it and the Dakotas have it. Do we want it in Minnesota is the next question. On any range. Do we want it in the casinos? Do we want it on our phones? Well, the argument, of course, is people are doing it anyway, and we can collect tax dollars from it. Or the tribal nations can get some money off that and do some good things with it. Or the state can do some good things with it, with the fisheries or the DNR or whatever might be the case. I've heard all those arguments, and yeah, to a certain degree, I don't necessarily disagree with that. However, the bad stuff that comes with those little nuggets of good things, I think it outweighs it in the long run. Let's not throw any more pots in there. I think that we have too much as it is right now, too many people getting addicted to this stuff. And look, if they want to go and sports gamble, go over to Wisconsin. It's not that far away, or go to the Dakotas or Iowa. I'm fine with that. But please, let's not add something else to what could be a problem. Look, the players could be taking money. College athletes. I think it's not a great idea.
All right, the mood meter says angry American. Okay. Well, my take of the day, the draft, as we touched on earlier in the show, will take place Thursday through Saturday. As soon as it's over, all the media experts are going to give out their grades to the respective 32 NFL teams, A, B, C, D, or F. Fans are going to go out into the social media universe and do the same thing. Everyone's got an opinion. That's okay. But don't take any of it seriously. You can't grade a draft until 3 or 4 years after the fact. So I have the 2022 Minnesota Vikings draft pulled up on my iPhone. You be the judge on how they did. Round 1, Lewis Cine. Round 2, Andrew Booth Jr. Round 3, Ed Ingram. Round 3 again, Brian Asamoah. Round 4, a Caleb Evans. Round 5, Isezi Otumwo. Round 5 again, Ty Chandler. Round 6, Vidarian Lowe. Round 6, Jalen Naylor. Round 7, Nick Muse. So you tell me how they did. Don't worry about 2026. It will take care of itself.
That's for sure.
All right, we got to go. Thanks for tuning us in. We are 10K Takes Your Sports Ticket.